The wreck of the Costa Concordia. For more than 900 days, the cruise ship lay just off the Italian coast. Its presence transformed life on the island of Giglio. I've come here for the last days before it gets towed away for scrap. A small hotel overlooks the wreck. It belongs to Ina Pellegrini, and she has vivid memories of the night in January 2012 when the ship hit a reef. When she finally understood what all the noise was, she walked down to the harbour, she explains. When the first rescue boat arrived with survivors, she asked how she could help. The policeman asked everyone to bring blankets. So she did, and she took in as many people as possible. There were 4,200 passengers on board. 50 of them stayed in her hotel. She gave the survivors dry clothes, showed them to their beds, helped them get ready and put them to bed. She says she has one especially painful memory of that night, 2.5 years ago. It's about a German woman. But then Caterina has to break off her story. 32 passengers died in the disaster. Then, after the tragedy, the long clean-up began. That has at least brought business to the island. Caterina's hotel has been booked up ever since. She has 6 rooms, she explains, and all of them are taken by the salvage company Titan. Most of the guests are engineers and staff working on the Costa Concordia operation. After the disaster, some 300 specialists from all around the world descended on the island. Ina Pellegrini has collected newspaper cuttings about the people who stayed with her. They've almost become part of the family. When the ship leaves Giglio, she'll be crying all day, she admits, with joy because the wreck's gone, but also with sadness at the guests she'll lose. They include Dutch engineer Jan Walhout. He's the youngest specialist working on the project. He went freelance after leaving university and quickly ended up on Giglio.
I'm here for 2 years now on this amazing project. It's so huge and it's an honor to be here because this is one of the largest salvage jobs, wreck removal jobs ever been done in the world.
I'll be following Jan over the next few days. Just before 8 he sets off for his workplace, a hulk 290 metres long, 35 metres wide and weighing 115,000 tonnes.
The general idea is that we want to remove the wreck entirely by use of 30 sponsons. And a sponson is actually a gigantic steel box. It's like 11 stories high. It's like a flat or a tower.
The salvage company has offices in a nearby hotel. Here Jan tells me more about the challenge his team faces. He uses the ship's plans to show me how the wreck has been refloated. The operation is in the final stage. In just a few days, the vessel is due to be towed to Genoa.
First, in the beginning, we started with the vessel on the side. They built a platform underneath, and then they used those gigantic pullers to pull the vessel straight. What you see here is one of the next phases. They installed all the starboard sponsons on the side of the Concordia, and then the first step is that they lower it down and press the water out of them, so that the sponsons create buoyancy, so that the entire wreck refloats.
The white tanks, or sponsons, were welded to the side of the ship. Then compressed air was pumped in. And slowly, the Concordia began to rise.
They used some tugboats to pull it more eastward. And when it's entirely east, then we will give the final then we get the final call and then we can move.
On the computer screen, that all looks perfectly plausible. But can it really be done? Are the engineers sure that the Costa Concordia will soon begin its final journey?
The engineers who put up the design together, they take a huge risk. And indeed, it's never done before. But we all believe in the plan. And I'm happy to be in this team. Actually, I'm a little bit proud of it, to be part of it. And we all believe that it will happen, yeah.
Over the last 2 years, 500 people have worked on board the Costa Concordia. On deck, underwater, closely supervised by an expert team. The Italian authorities constantly monitored the water around the wreck site. Very soon, their work is set to come to an end. It seems hard to believe.
Jacket here and my helmet.
Jan Walhout has to board the vessel again. To work there, he even had to take a climbing course.
It's quite dangerous there because there are a lot of cranes and people are welding there. We have to climb sometimes from one room to the other room, or climb on those huge sponsons and to work under harsh conditions.
The project has had its own tragedies. One diver was killed in the operation.
Scary, but yeah, it's a huge risk, but we are willing to take it to remove the vessel. It's actually part of the job, and that's how it is.
Danger, stress and fear are all part of the job. Today Jan has to check the position of the air tanks on the hull. They need to be fixed precisely so the towing can go ahead. For safety reasons, I'm not allowed to come along. I wait on shore. When Jan returns after a 20-hour shift, he has bad news.
One of the sponsons, you cannot fix it good in position, and the level is still wrong, so we have to lower it down a little bit. And yeah, if this is going to take too long, we won't make it.
With just a couple of days remaining, time is of the essence and the stress is showing. This job could be the start of a career for Jan. He needs things to go well.
It's quite a burden to be responsible for this operation. Of course, you are with the entire team, but still, you feel responsible for the work you are doing. So take it very serious.
While Jan catches up on some sleep, his team step up their efforts. In the end, they manage to correct the position of the tanks and raise the wreck higher. Jan hears the news from his friend and colleague David Fief. An engineer from Belgium, he's also been on the project since the beginning.
At the moment we are in the final stage of the project. We're still going up with the ship and try to reach a draft of between 18 and 19 meters. And also the last preparations to tow the ship to Geneva. It's a quite tricky job, but all became to a good end. And yeah, we're all quite nervous.
So we are working here 12 or 14 hours a day, sometimes longer. Sometimes we work day and night just to finish the job.
The two men have to go out to the ship again. If things go according to plan, it'll be their last time. This day will be crucial if the wreck is to be towed away on time. Jan and his colleagues will stay on board for the next 24 hours.
Consortio. Consortio, good morning. Can you pick us up on the ferry key and bring us to the Costa, please?
We have to be inside the control room on the vessel because such a lot of things are going on at the moment. For example, we watch on the screens, we see the video data come in, and if there's a problem, we can directly maintain.
I wish them good luck. Once again, I'm not allowed on board for safety reasons. special control room was built on the wreck itself for the salvage operation. This is where all the images and data come together, where all the work on the operation is monitored. It's an incredibly intricate setup. Just one mistake could ruin years of work. The engineers have worked through the night. Jan Walhout is exhausted after such a long shift, but the job is done.
Yeah, actually, as you see, we lifted the vessel the last couple of meters, so we're actually ready for the towage now. We're leaving the wreck for the last time. It's quite strange because you're actually leaving home a little bit, because it's your office. You live there 12 hours a day, and it sounds strange, but it's also a little bit, yeah, it becomes our own world, and now we are leaving it.
At long last, Giglio can celebrate the departure of the Costa Concordia. The ship is heading for Genoa. For Jan Walhout, it's a proud moment.
Really, really strange. It's almost unreal that we did it, and that the wreck is now floating again, and it's so unrealistic, so unreal, but still it's true. And we did it. We did this.
After 2 years of hard work, Jan still has to come to terms with his team's success. For me too, it's difficult to believe. The people here can now begin a new chapter, after the tragedy and after the cleanup. The Costa Concordia is finally on its way.